Hi, my name is Robert Manlove, and today I'm doing my persuasive speech trying to persuade my audience on why it is so important to have an alcohol and drug-free workplace. I'm here traveling Valentine's Day weekend with my wife, Dee Dee Manlove. Come on up, love, real quick. This is my audience, and we are in agreement that it is important to say alcohol and drug-free while in a workplace. Now, God gives us free will. Right, babe? God gives us free will?
Yes.
God gives us free will. When that says that anybody can choose to use alcohol or drugs. Okay? In Colorado, because of the bill passed that we, and as adults over the age of 21, can purchase marijuana now. So not only can we purchase alcohol, but we can purchase marijuana as well. And that's perfectly legal. What we don't have is a right to affect each other's safety. Okay, so if I choose to indulge, or if anybody else chooses to indulge in alcohol or drugs, we do not have the right to affect people's safety. Okay, so that is my opening topic: alcohol and drug-free workplace. One of the first things I want to talk about is a problem. The problem is that it affects, like I said, safety. And people affect each other. I work in the transportation industry. In the transportation industry, we move big pieces of equipment, trains. And what we want to do is move them trains from point A to point B as safely as we can and still keep the customer's goods as safe as we can. What we want to do about doing that is make sure that not only our employees are safe, but the goods on the train are safe. Now, the problem is that we affect each other when we choose to do that unsafely. In this particular case, it's when a person uses drugs or alcohol while doing that. Now, take where I'm at in the airport. If a pilot or a co-pilot or anybody else within the system, from the customer checking in at the front counter all the way to he or she getting on the plane, all the way to arriving at their destination, if any of those employees are under the influence of drugs or alcohol, that can potentially affect how I as a customer, how my wife as a customer, or all these other families as customers get from point A to point B. We do not want our pilots or co-pilots or people that run trains, anybody under the influence of drugs and alcohol. But yet and still, we do have in the transportation industry as a whole, not so much aircraft pilots, but as a whole, we see people under the influence of drugs and alcohol. And we see it on the rise in the nation today. So that's our problem. Now, the solution is education. Education really helps us in society as a whole. It's a proven fact that if a person is more educated in whatever he or she is trying to do, it helps them make better choices. Making better choices, it helps them become wiser in the things that they do, and that takes education. So what we want to do is educate them on how marijuana affects people, how cocaine affects people, how alcohol affects people, and not only affects them, but affects them the way to make decisions, good decisions in the workplace. So for example, if a person my size, 200 something pounds, decides to have an alcoholic drink tonight, I can do that. Maybe I can have 2 alcoholic drinks tonight. Depending on my body size, depending on my weight, I can probably have 2 alcoholic drinks, 12-ounce beer, a shot, whatever. Problem is that when I have that prior to showing up to the workplace, so let's say I need to report at the workplace at, let's say, 2 hours from now. So 2 hours from now, I need to be at the workplace in the transportation industry, in this case, trains, on a train or running a piece of equipment, and I am indulging 2 hours beforehand. The likelihood of that alcohol being out of my system and me ready to go mentally is not very good, because I'm only 200 something pounds and I decide to have a shot. Stats statistically say that it takes 2 hours or per person of my size for one alcoholic beverage to flush completely out of my system. Okay, so if I have 2 alcoholic beverages, let's say I'm celebrating, watching the Broncos or basketball or whatever I'm doing, and I decide to have 2 alcoholic beverages, still need to report to work, 2 hours, 2 12-ounce shots of my spirits, I probably will not be mentally prepared to show up to the job site. that is a problem, because I am showing up to the jobs and saying, I am safe, I am ready to go. However, I am not safe, I am not ready to go. Take marijuana. Marijuana today is more potent than it was 10 years ago. Okay, so we pump our marijuana. Marijuana is pumped up with more percentage of THC. THC is what is in the marijuana that gives you the high. So the THC in the marijuana is more potent today. Some of the packages where we have edibles, where we have liquid form, are up to 300% per 10 ounces of the package of marijuana, of THC, 300%. That is astronomical amount of THC, and we are taking that. And so, but then I show up to the job site, whatever that job site is, safety environment, and I'm saying that I'm ready to go, that I'm safe, and that's something that we cannot have. Okay, we cannot have that. Okay, so that is a solution. Education, educating our people on why we shouldn't indulge in marijuana, educating our people on why we shouldn't do cocaine before we go to the job site, giving people other resources, because sometimes people go through things and we self-medicate. We self-medicate with things, and because we're dealing with some stuff personally. And sometimes people like to party. Sometimes we do, but we need to explain to people the limitations on what it is and why they should not be doing it. Not just exclude them, because people are going to make choices that aren't the best for them. We as a society need to provide education for these people. Okay, so in the visualization of solution, both rhetorical and visual. Okay, so take marijuana. Okay, marijuana is in a green substance sometimes, so visually see yourself indulging in that. Now, if you are getting on a plane and you see your pilot wanting to indulge in that, is that somebody, let's say he's indulging in it outside and you walk past him, visualize that. What will be your response? Is that the pilot that you want to fly with? Is that the police officer you want trying to protect you? Is that the firefighter you want trying to protect? All these are safety sensitive jobs. These are not the people that we want. We do, maybe we do, but we want to get them help. We want to educate them. I mean, that's where the support comes into place. And it may take finances. I encourage every employer to have some type of something that goes back to the employee financially. Because when they go through these types of things in their lives, they're going to need some financial support. Okay? Sometimes they lose their job. They're still going to need financial support, because we want to build society up as a whole. Okay? So in closing, I want everybody in this audience that sees this video to really go back and think about why we should have an alcohol and drug-free workplace. I encourage you to talk to your spouse and your children, because our children are growing up in the same society that we're growing up in, and our grandchildren. So really encourage everybody to promote an alcohol and drug-free workplace. Again, my name is Robert Manlove, here with my wife Dee Dee Manlove, and we are traveling Valentine's Day weekend. Thank you for letting me do this on our Valentine's Day weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks.